why am I even having a startup and suffering so much when I could have like a good lucrative job somewhere else? Like, why am I doing that to me and my family? But I'm glad we did not give up. Like, my investor really believed in the business and the team as well. And I think to bring fresh energy from the team and mentors is very important. And I kind of gave up on fundraising. I tried a few times, but I could feel it was very difficult and I was not super confident either with the business. But I think like this year was just like the fruit of like all the effort of the past 2 years started paying off. You don't know why, like the release turning and all those contracts you were expecting or new one you did not expect just came and suddenly you start having a lot of traction because you didn't give up and you just made it through with bootstrapping and trying, to really work as a very small team, little salary for everyone and people who accept that because we believe in the mission. In the end, for us, it paid off. And now we're actually fundraising again. It seems to be a very different dynamic, but we'll see after we close. But no, it's been hard for founders the past 2 years.
Thank you. And so another question, you mentioned that you were pregnant when you were fundraising. How can you do it?
I think I had my postpartum depression during the pregnancy because I was very anxious with the startup. I remember having like panic attack after we launched with like consumer issue and panic attack over cash flow. After I gave birth to my first son in February 2021, we had no money. So I had to be back like 2 weeks after, and I was not in good shape. Like it was really hard, but I had no choice. And I was doing the call. I remember trying to negotiate a contract, and then the second pregnancy, I promised myself I would take at least 3 months off. But then it was the same story. I could not raise money. But I was more at peace because the baby was born, and I'm like, a baby sleeps actually. It's not a toddler, so you can. They don't need me. So I was like a week after I was on my email, and the team was like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "No, but honestly, I'm like that's all I have to do right now." So. And that was okay. But I think you can do it if you have a partner who can take time off. But it was a travel ban also with France. So the first baby, I had no family. So that was hard. My husband thankfully had like a good job and had a paternity leave. And but for the second one, my mom was able to travel and she helped me at home. It's funny because I did an accelerator and we were only 2 solo female founders, and I think it's only our 2 companies who are still running today out of like the 12. And she's doing a health tech startup on sport data and data, which is what she's very passionate, and I think that's why also she just kept going through, and her company seems to be growing well at her pace, but it's growing and the other one, like they were like very successful team and all of that, but I don't think none of them are still around.
My 2 best founders right now are solo female founders. So I don't know, maybe not a coincidence.
Well, both are strong.
So we're good at proving the wrong. Someone said no female, no solo female.
I'm gonna ask Elsa, especially with your product, how early did you, or when will you bring someone on board that's really focused on the last mile of the product, so the packaging, the preservation, like that last bit that isn't as innovative as the core product, but is still crucial to it being successful?
I think that we took it into account when we built the first prototype. And when we first, the diagnostic test was supposed to be just a lab test for us internally. It was not supposed to be a consumer product. And I had to do like fake it until you make it and pretend that we had it ready for market. And I contacted the press and we had a lot of momentum. And I got a retail deal like that. And that's when I got some money and we had 3 months to bring the product to market and build all the tech to support it. And that's when we had to figure out like packaging cost, knitting of the kit. We had like the core part that was the important one about preservation and all of that. And we did not manufacture that, so that was easy. But all the rest around the UX, the tech, all the data and privacy thing, like how do you collect data at scale, people information, making sure it's secure. And I hired like a CTO with me as soon as we decided to bring the test to market, and he's been with me since that because I had no idea how to build the platform. you can figure out packaging, but tech platform for biodata collection, you have to go.